I love this case. It's like, it fits me like a glove. YouTube, what is up? So today I have got my top 5 cases for my iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, of these cases, this top 5 isn't like worst to best or anything like that. These are all banger cases. They all have MagSafe, they all have a covered camera button, all the way around protection, you know, all the good things. But I thought I'd put this together like, you know, what's a good case if you're going out? Or what's a good bang for your buck case? Or, you know, slim case or something like that. So these are my top 5, but I can tell you, well, my number 1 is my go-to case. I always go back to this case. I love this case. So what do you guys say? Let's get into it. And at number 5, I have the TechWoven Case by Apple. This is a case that if you want the Apple case, you know, you want the name brand Apple case to go with your iPhone. The reason I would say this one over like the clear case is too slick, plus there's no protection on the bottom. And the silicone cases are great, functionality wise and everything, just like the TechWoven, but I prefer more the feel of this TechWoven case. I like the fabric on it. It'd be a little DJ. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty good, right?
And then on the inside, you've got your MagSafe ring, and then you've also got the TechWoven fibers, you know, inside the case. And again, all the way around protection. And let's go ahead and putting the phone in the case is super, super simple. And then you get your little animation. It pops off there. Almost just as easy. And this, and again, you know, you get your little MagSafe. Hey, I have an iPhone, Apple case for my phone. But yeah, this case, as far as the Apple cases are concerned, especially that Beats case, that one's horrible.
He ain't lying.
This is a great case. You know, this weighs 40 grams. Now, it is $60 retail, but I'm going to leave a link down in the description for Amazon, where you might be able to save yourself a couple of bucks. But yeah, the feel of this case feels good. You know, you got your Apple logo right there, and the feel in the hand is very nice. Rounded edges, got some good grip along the sides of the phone, so you can hold this, you know, with confidence on it. And it's not going to pop out of your phone. The corners are nice and secure, and the camera ring around it, it's a little bit on the shallow side of things, but not too bad. And same with the screen. The screen itself, the lip around it, a little bit on the shallow side, but you should be okay when you go to set your phone down. Now, as far as the buttons go, it's very responsive. You know, the action button works well, sleep to wake works well, and it's got some decent click to it. And the camera button here, let's go ahead, glides. It's very smooth. Of course, it's Apple, you know, and double taps are awesome if you need to move through that, but it's Apple.
Good morning.
It's a great camera control button. But let's go ahead and let's check out those magnets. And I've got my magnet paper here, and with Apple, you know, it's very clean. You know, there's not a lot of grouping. It's a nice clean magnet, a really good dewdrop. Let's check out the charge. And what I've got the Prime, what is this? The Anker Prime 3-in-1 charger here. And what this will do is this will show what type of, you know, charge we'll get. This is a 2.2 Qi 2.2 3-in-1 wireless charging system. So it, you know, it has a nice little display on it. And let's see if this goes up to the 25 watts. Now it takes a little time, so I'll probably be fast forwarding through all of this. And there you go, 25 watts fast charging. So you do get a good fast charge up to that 25 watts, but let's do a little shake test and see how strong those magnets actually are. So I've got my 160 gram weighted charger here. Shake it out and see what happens here. So you got a little bit of light, a little bit of medium. You get about medium shakeage out of this, which isn't, you know, too bad. but let's try it with a magnetic wallet. So I've got my Andar kickback wallet here, which has really strong magnets, and it's on there pretty good, you know? So if you have a magnetic wallet, you know, you should be good. Now coming in at number 4 is the Andar Aspen leather case. Probably one of the best leather cases I've come across. It's leather,
That's weird.
after a while you get a nice patina on it. When you're wanting to go out, nice leather, soft, it feels good. It's got a metal ring, metal buttons. The metal buttons aren't as sharp as they used to be. They worked on that. And the closed camera button, a little bit of branding. And then on the inside, you have your MagSafe ring and a nice felt lining to help protect your phone on the inside. So let's go ahead and let's pop on the iPhone 17 Pro Max here. And that pops in nice. It's very secure. It takes a little effort to pop it out, but it does come out okay. Great looking case. You know, when you're out on the town and you want to have a nice leather case, these come in several different colors. This will run you about $70, and I'll leave a link down in the description to where you can save 15%. And this weighs about 40 grams for a leather case. That's pretty good. And the feel in the hand, of course, it's that soft leather. It's rounded around the edges here, so it feels good in the hand. It's leather, so there's a little bit of slipperiness. The buttons are good and responsive. The action button works well. Sleep to wake, very clicky. I mean, super clicky, super tactile. These buttons feel great.
Noise.
And the camera button, you know, you got your double taps and you got your swipes. Very nice, very clean. You may get a little bit of a stutter. I have noticed, like with the Aspens, to get that scroll takes a little warming up, but the camera control, you know, it's pretty decent. Now going over the fit, it fits great on the phone. The corners are not trying to pop out, so it is very secure. The lip protection is not too terribly bad. It does, you know, come up a little bit here on the corners, but it does protect your screen, so you should be good if you go to set it down. Now the camera plateau, very, very nice camera plateau on that. Let's go ahead and let's check out those magnets. And with the magnet paper here, you can see a very nice, clean looking magnets. No cutoff on the dewdrop down here. It's good and connected all the way around. But let's go ahead and see what type of charge can we expect from this bad boy. Are we going to get up to that 25 watt charging? And there you go, 25 watt charging. Let's see how strong those magnets are. Let's see what kind of shakeage we got going on here. We got medium to the brink of hard shakeage. Let's check it out with the magnetic wallet. And so I got the matching kickback wallet on that. So it's not, yeah, it's staying on there for the leather wallet. So if you have a leather wallet, you should be good. Moving on to number 3, I have the Spigen clear case. Now, as you can see, the clear cases for the iPhone 17 Pro Maxes this year aren't so clear, or they are clear, and just the magnetic ring, if it has MagSafe, it just looks weird, the placement of it. So I'm not the biggest fan.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
I actually like this look. To me, it looks, you know, more classic, and your camera plateau is all the way covered. It's nice hard TPU along the back, but flexible TPU along the sides. Let's pop it on and, you know, take a look at it. So put it on the 17 Pro Max here. Boom. Boom. And as far as like bang for your buck case, this thing's like $19. And sometimes it's even cheaper on Amazon than $19. This is a great bang for your buck case, and it weighs about 40 grams, which is, average for most cases. Now, the feel in the hand, it feels good in the hand. There is one little issue. I don't know why, but here on the corners, instead of making it rounded, they did more of a cut it along here. So it's like straight this way, straight that way, and then straight onto the back, which it doesn't feel bad, but you can feel kind of the edges. I don't really want to feel edges on my phone. I don't know. Am I anti-edges? Oh, come on! It does pretty good with the smudges, although it still gets smudges on it, but a quick little wipe. Now, as far as the grip goes, it's got a good grip. I don't feel like this is going to fall out of my hands with that TPU on the side. Could it be a little bit grippier? Maybe. And as far as the buttons are good and responsive. They are set into the case itself, but it does have little indicators, like you can tell that this is the action button. Well, not that great. The power button, yeah. Not the clickiest. The buttons are there. They're not loose or, what am I looking for? They're part of the TPU. It's just kind of cut into it. So, not the most satisfying click to them or anything like that. But, the camera button is very nice. Spigen, when they come to their camera buttons, dude, they're right on par with Apple. The sliding of the back and the forth and the double taps and everything like that. The Spigen T-series of cases, they're great. They know what they're doing when it comes to, that capacitive camera capture control button. One of those several words.
Well, that's crazy that you knew that.
But let's go ahead and let's see what kind of screen protection that we got going on here. It's nice. There's some screen protection there, so you should be okay when you go to set your phone down. But of course, the camera plateau, it's all the way around covered, and the lip goes up past the camera, because the camera does protrude out of the plateau here a little bit, but it does have the TPU guard, camera ring, plateau ring, whatever you want to call it, around, to protect your phone and when you do set it down. And as far as the fit, it comes out on the sides a little bit and down at the bottom and up top, but it's not coming off of your corners. So if you do drop your phone, it's not like your case is going to pop off of your phone. So let's check out those magnets. Now, going into the magnets here, I have got the papers, and there's a little bit of cutoff around here, but again, Spigen does really well with their MagFit magnets, and I've never really had an issue with the MagSafe for them. And let's see, can we get the 25 watt fast charging on this? And there you go, 25 watt fast charging with the Spigen, what is it, the Ultra Hybrid clear case? I think that's the whole thing on it. Let's do a little shake test. 160 gram weighted charger. The shake on this, I can tell you, this is medium hard. You can get some hard shakeage. The magnetic security with their MagFit, it's good. But let's check it with a wallet. And I've got my kickback here. Oh man, that just, it's like, it takes effort. Bam! But yeah, that is on there. The Spigen magnets are just phenomenal magnets. You should be good with a magnetic wallet. At the number 2 spot, we have the Benks Grid ArmorPro case. Now, this was My favorite last year, or one of the Benks's, I think it was the Prestige case, and I had the Prestige case this year, but it's, I got a new number one. I have a new favorite, this year. It's a Kevlar aramid fiber case with a metal ring for the plateau, independent metal buttons here for the volumes up and down, and even the action button has a nice little accent. You got a little branding. It's nice and it's soft. That soft aramid fiber coating, Kevlar coating, whatever coating they put on there, it feels really good. It's a very stiff drop protection case. This is a serious case.
Okay, damn!
Let's look on the inside. See, you got your ArmorGrid branding there, built with Kevlar. You see your ring. Well, you don't see the ring, but this is where the magnetic ring is. And let's go ahead and let's pop it on. The iPhone 17 Pro Max pops on very easily, comes off very easily as well. But that is a very clean looking case. I've always liked the Benks Kevlar cases. They have these in a couple of colors as well. What I like the most is the weight. This weighs 37 grams. 37 grams, one of the lighter cases for a aramid fiber Kevlar case. As an example, the Spigen Enzo aramid fiber case is like 52 grams. This case run you about 50 bucks, and it feels good in the hand. I mean, the softness of this case, nice rounded edges, and when you hold it, it's not, to me, it's not that slippery. Some people may think it's a little slippery, but I would not consider this a slippery case. The buttons on this are good and responsive buttons, and the action button also with sleep to wake. But here's the kicker. Tactile, clicky buttons. The buttons on this thing, I love the buttons.
If you love them so much, why don't you marry them?
And getting into the camera control, great camera control buttons as well. You got your swipes, very nice, very clean. You got your double taps to, zoom or whatever you want to do and take your picture. Great capacitive camera button on the Benks case, you know what I'm saying? And as far as the fit, it fits really well in there. It's not coming off of the edges, so you shouldn't have a problem. If you do happen to drop it, your case isn't going to pop off the phone. And the camera protection on this is excellent. It's got a nice, not too deep, but your camera has got a good protection on it. And going with the screen, also, I don't know how well this comes across, but it does seem like the edges here, or the corners, they come up a little bit higher, so it doesn't mess too much with your thumb action happening there, but you should be good when you go to set your phone down. But let's check out those magnets. And looking here, now the magnets, they're a little, they've got some areas of, I'm not exactly sure what you would call that. They don't come across as clean, but it does have a complete dewdrop. Does it get to the 25 watt range? So let's see, popping it here on the Anker Prime. Let's see if we can get that 25 watt charging. There you go. Looked like I was gonna struggle there for a second, but you got up to the 25 watt wireless fast charging. Now that's not saying that it's going to stay 25 watts. What? Because, it just kind of all depends on where your battery is, and it may fluctuate, back and forth. But so far, all these cases will get up to that 25 watt charging. So let's see how well that magnet holds. Got my 160 gram weighted charger here. Go to shake. Got a little bit of light, medium. You get about medium shakeage out of this, which isn't too bad. But let's try it with that wallet. Got the wallet on here. Where are we at? Yeah, I think the resistance there, I think that's more of the Kevlar coating, or the whatever coating they put on this. But the dewdrop part is not going to hardly move. Ugh. And it does take some effort. So, you got a magnetic wallet, I think you're going to be good. It's Kevlar, so you're going to get a little bit of, some fingerprints on it, but you give it a little wipe. See? A little bit of a wipe, and you're good to go. Now it is time for the number 1 case. I love this case. It's like, it fits me like a glove. Not the lightest case, not the best magnet case, but it's got, now as far as a slim case goes, and I think that's where this sold me, is how slim this thing feels. I love this case. Still, love this case. The Rebel Air. This thing, I don't know. It's got it all. It's a slim case. It's, the covered buttons. Now, it doesn't have independent buttons. There's a little cutout buttons, but it's fine with me. And, I don't know. The grip on the side, it's got these little dimples for the grip. And there's the inside, you got your magnet, MagSafe, blah, 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 Rebel there. And, it's not the fanciest of cases. It's not the hardest shell of cases, but it's a durable case. Like I said, I've been running with this thing for quite some time. So let's pop it in here. Pops in nice and easy and comes out just as easy. So there's no problems there. And it's not the coolest looking, It's got a little bit of, branding there for the R for Rebel. But on my day-to-day case that I want to use, I want something that fits and feels the best in my hand. And I think this will feel good, in y'all's hands too. And now, like I said, this thing weighs 50 grams. It's a heavier case, but you don't feel it in the hands. This case also is about $22 on Amazon. The reason it didn't make bang for your buck is because, the Spigen was a couple of dollars cheaper. But $22 might be even cheaper on Amazon. Link in the description. But the feel of this case, man, I don't know. We'll get into those details
Wait a minute.
as I'm going through and explaining why this case, one, it doesn't feel heavy, but the feel and the grip, I always go back to this case. Those little dimples on the sides, really, really good grip. And as far as the responsiveness with the buttons, very responsive, and the click on them, there's a little bit on the down volume is louder than the up volume, but you can feel the tactile, the clickiness of the buttons on this. And the camera button, great camera button. It works well. It works great. I haven't really had any stutter with it. The double taps, the swipes, everything looks good. Great covered camera button. And also the fit on this thing is excellent as well. Well, first, let's do this. There's the screen protection. It's these little footies on the end. It's got you covered. The case itself, it comes right up to, here on the side, right up to the screen. Just right up to the screen. So scroll, thumb action, it's almost like you're not bumping into really anything. But it's got great little footies there, so when you go to set your phone down, you're fine. Not to mention the screen protector that I have on this. I have the Benks Sapphire screen protector. I've had it on here for months, and I've dropped the phone several times. Several? Is that an understatement? Maybe.
Welcome back, Captain Obvious.
With this case on it and that screen protector, and I haven't had to replace the screen protector or the case, and thank God, not my phone either. And then looking at the camera plateau, the camera plateau is a little bit thinner, than the others, not as deep, but there's still enough to where you can set your phone down and you should be fine. It's just the feel, the wraparound, Is that a thing?
What?
Let's check out the magnets. So the magnet paper here, it's, you know, got a nice clean MagSafe ring happening around it. No little stutters or anything like that. And the dewdrop, it's a little cut in some areas. But let's see if it charges up to that 25 fast charging watts of goodness. All right, placing it on the Anker prime there. Let's check it out. And I really gotta charge my phone after this. And there you go, 25 watt fast charging on the Rebel Air. But we gotta see how strong those magnets actually are. So 160 gram weighted charger here, but let's take a look at the shake. So we got light to medium shakeage. So like I said, not the best magnets, but let's try it with a wallet though. So I got my Andar kickback here, and what do we got here? I mean, Andar themselves on their wallets, and they've got really good magnets on their wallets. But it's staying on there. I think if you have a magnetic wallet, you should be good. And I think what really sells me on this is those footies and just the sheer feel of this slimness when I do the wraparound. So that's my top 5 cases for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Thanks for hanging out, and until next time, peace and love. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I don't even have to go back and put on. Got to the number 1 and staying with the number 1. Don't have to change my case.